Hi students, welcome back. Moving on to coordinates and Cartesian plane today. So most of us already have a glimpse on this topic previously. So let's go through the concepts. Okay, so let's look at alphanumeric grid reference on the map. So most of us have gone through different states or maybe even some foreign countries whereby we are given tourist maps. So in these tourist maps, we do have most of them are alphanumeric grid reference. So let's see an example. I'll show you an example later on. So area of land can be displayed by using a grid reference map, where grid map is divided into squares. So because grid references refer to a square region rather than a point on the map, they are often called area references. So the reference for each square on the map is given by two coordinates, usually a letter and a number, hence the name alphanumeric. Okay, map with alphanumeric grid references are usually found in street directory or an atlas. So in geography, I'm sure you will come across this when you're going through the topic on reading a map. I'm sure most of you are very familiar with this map. So it's a map of the school. So as you can see, on the x-axis is all in alphabets, and the y-axis in terms of numbers. Okay, so whenever you read, remember I've told you guys you have to read from the x-axis first, then the y-axis. Like for example, the launch building, the majority of the building is actually in this square grid here, so it's actually A6. You understand? Read the x-axis first, then the y-axis. So let's go through this. Okay, some questions here. Where is the caretaker's residence? So look carefully. Where is the caretaker's reference? So for those people who go to the Oval often, you will know that, oh, it's somewhere around here. That's right. So the caretaker residence is actually at E7. Well done for those who got it. About the next one, Mr. Leong's office. Okay, unfortunately, Mr. Leong's office is not labeled on the map, but I'm sure most of you know where my office is. It's located in the Navigate building. Is it on the left side of the building or the right side of the building? That's right, it's on the right side of the building. It's somewhere around here. Okay, that's my office. So my office is located in C6. That's right. And where's the bus stop located? Okay, the bus stop is labeled over here. We presume the stop is here, and it is actually at C3. Quite easy to understand, isn't it, this concept? Okay, let's move on. Oh, there's another one, sensory garden. So sensory garden is over here, so it's A1. That's right. So moving on to Cartesian plane. We have already started on this previously. So moving on again, Cartesian plane. So we always have the x-axis and the y-axis. Remember that? So Cartesian plane is named after this inventor called Rene Descartes. It's a visual means of describing location on a plane. Plane is talking about two dimension by using 2 points as coordinates rather than a letter and a number. Okay, Cartesian plane is formed by two perpendicular lines. Okay, this is perpendicular because this is 90 degrees here, isn't it? The horizontal line is called the x-axis. The vertical line is called the y-axis. So the point that that intersects the two axes is known as the origin. So this part is called the origin. 0.00 is the origin. Both axes must be marked that are evenly spaced. So if you use this gap space here, likewise you have the same gap across. Okay, if you have a bigger gap here, then you've got to use a bigger gap across the intervals along the same axis. Bear that in mind. Okay, to locate any point on the Cartesian plane, we use a pair of numbers called the Cartesian coordinates. The numbers are written in a set of brackets that are separated by a comma. The first number in bracket is called the x-axis of the point, and this shows how far across the original point is located. The second number is called the y-coordinate, and this shows how far from the original the point is. So for example, 3, 1. So 3, 1 is here, 3, 1. So the point is located somewhere around here. Understand? So the book actually gave us a very good way to remember. So for example, we want to know where is the point 2, 3. Okay, so we basically have to move 2 units to the right and 3 units up. So to remember this, we can actually use a ladder theory, whereby you need to walk across to the place that you want, then you put up the ladder to climb upwards. So it's something like this. You have to, since this is 2, 3, so you have to walk two steps and climb 3 of them. Okay, so always remember you have to walk in the horizontal manner first, then you climb upwards. You can climb upwards and crawl to the side, isn't it? Okay, so always remember the x-axis first, anything that's horizontal first, then you deal with the vertical. Okay, extending the axis, so we are moving on to the second, third, and fourth quadrant, and then we have done something like this before, isn't it, previously? So the Cartesian axis can be extended indefinitely in both directions, because both extreme or top and bottom, you can actually go infinite ways, isn't it? So on the x-axis, the values to the left of the origin is negative and is decreasing. Likewise, on the y-axis, it's also negative when it's decreasing. So the Cartesian planes have 4 quadrants. We have already done this before. Just a revision. Okay, quadrants are numbered in an anti-clockwise direction, starting with the top right-hand corner. If both x and y axis are positive, is located in the first quadrant. If x-axis is negative but the y-axis is positive, the point will be in the second quadrant. And if the point is in the third quadrant, both x and y are negative. And finally, points in the fourth quadrant, you have x-axis being positive and y value being negative. Okay. And if the point is located on the axis, whether it's x-axis or y-axis, so we just say that it's located along the axis. So it's not in any of the quadrant. Got it? So likewise, if the point is on the y-axis, x coordinate is always 0. Okay, so where I say, so it's the origin. So first, second, third, fourth, anti-clockwise direction. So it happens if you have the point here, you just say that, oh, it's lying on the x-axis. If the point is somewhere here, we say, oh, it's lying on the y-axis. Got it? So, practical question. So we are supposed to plot these points on the plane. So you have to draw the Cartesian plane accurately. Remember, the gaps must be the same. So let's locate where it's minus 1, 2. Minus 1, 2 is there. So we got to locate where it's 2 minus 4. 2 minus 4 is somewhere here. And we locate 0 minus 3. 0 minus 3 is here. That's right. And then D is 4, 0. 4, 0 is here. And E is minus 5 minus 2 is somewhere around here. Okay, that's E. So state the location of each of the point. There's a quadrant or axis. So A is actually in the second quadrant. Remember, first quadrant is here, second quadrant is here. And B is actually in second, third, fourth quadrant, isn't it? And then C is actually on the y-axis. D is actually on the x-axis. And E is actually in the third quadrant. Easy to understand so far, everyone? Let's move on. Okay, this is actually one of the challenging questions in the exercise. So I'm going to go through with you. So first and foremost, they say locate these 2 points, C, which is 1, 7, and D, 1, minus 5. So 1, 7 is here, 1, 7 is here. So the point is here, okay? And 1 minus 5, 1 minus 5 is here. So that's the point, okay? So they say draw the line between the 2 points. So you draw a line, okay? Because your grid might be different from mine, so you use a ruler to measure the length. Okay, in terms of grid, okay, just measure, okay. So they say find the coordinates of the middle point. So what I did was I find the total distance of these two. It's actually 7 plus 5, which is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So I add 6 to it, you will actually end up here. So this is actually the midpoint, which is here. Okay, so the coordinates of the midpoint is actually 1 and 1. That is the midpoint. Okay, and then we are supposed to draw another vertical line to find the coordinates of the middle point. So I use another line, which is here. So again, to find the midpoint, I find the distance between it is 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So from here, I add 4 to it. My midpoint is somewhere around here. Okay, so minus 5, 6 is the point. And minus 5, minus 2 is the point here. Like I say, I actually find the distance between the two of them, which is 4. So the location is somewhere around here. Yep, that's right. And after that, you are supposed to find a formula. You actually can find, if you can see the pattern out of these two, it's basically you got to add the value of the two y values and you divide by 2 to get the middle point. Okay, that's how you actually get it. You add up the two y values and then you divide by 2. Okay, so that's the end of our lesson today. So remember to complete the required exercise in my online. Okay, bye-bye.